Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a good old-fashioned Subro God. It has been a little bit since I made a video, around 4 or 5 days, but we are back on a rogue. So first off, the gear will be linked down below, so I can kind of just skip the whole gearing process. I'll have two of them, so I've seen Nahj, he's running flag with 4 set, and then I've also seen Kalvish. I'm running Kalvish's build because I don't really like that. I haven't really seen any rogues playing flag, so I'm not really gonna play something that I haven't really seen anybody playing. I think it is viable, but you can really decide which one you want to play, whether you want to play flag or you want to play non-flag. I'd probably suggest non-flag to be honest, but either one can work. So the gearing will be down in the description. I'll have both Naj's and Calvish's down there, so you can check out which and copy which one you ever one you want will go. First off, we're instantly starting off with the add-ons. We're just gonna get this over quick so I can get in the game and basically show you guys what to do. Ability team tracker, pretty much self-explanatory. It tracks your team's cooldowns. Now I also run omnicd, but they both kind of help, so I just run both of them. Next run, battleground enemies. You don't really need this for arena, obviously, but for blitz, or blitz and RBGs, it's really good. Big debuffs. Again, big debuffs is where if I were to stun somebody, it's gonna go on their face. A lot of people don't have this when you should, because it helps you know when to restun. So instead of looking below or above wherever you have your stuff at, you'll pretty much have that helping you out. You can also see when they have wings up and all that stuff. So, details damage meter. Again, another add-on that most likely everybody already has. Not only is it really good for just damage, but you can see, for example, if Rogue gets buffed and a Rogue's doing 2 times your damage, most likely there's a new build, so you'll be able to just, check him out, go to his check PvP, and copy the build that he's running. You can also see, like, crowd control done, or interrupts, CC breaks, healing, there's pretty much everything, so, um, that's pretty much that. The next one we're going with is going to be nameplate cooldowns. A lot of people ask me that. So pretty much when I look above somebody's name, now a lot of people don't run this. Um, it really just depends on what you're running. If you're running a good S Arena or a Gladius that shows everything, then it's not that big of a deal. I run both S Arena and I run nameplate cooldowns. I'm just so used to it that I already know what cities they kind of already have and don't. And it's pretty much, again, you don't need it, but it is a good thing to have, especially if you're like newer. Omnibar, I usually only run this for my healers or casters. I can track Shadow Step, I can track kicks, I can track pretty much everything that I want to track without actually having to look at their head. Because sometimes as a caster or healer, you're kind of max range, so you don't really have the time to just look at their nameplates far range. But it's still really good for casting, or if you want to just have it. Omnicd, again, just going to track your teammates' cooldowns. It won't track the enemies, but it'll track your teams. So, I've seen, for example, I always use the example, Crusader, he doesn't run these type of add-ons, and then what ends up happening is, he won't know what cooldowns they've used, and a lot of times, they just overlap CDs, because he's not running it. So, it's a really good thing to have, even as a really good player, it's still really good. So, your call with that. S Arena 2 by Sammers, I'll go over it real quick. This is just how I set mine up on this account. So when you download it, go to Xaru, then you can kind of just copy mine. Again, it's just a basic, frames for S Arena. It's nothing too insane, but it does help with being able to target. So if you want to go through, copy, and then just go ahead and pause the video on one of these, and you're pretty much solid. And that's pretty much it for my add-on. Though I do have one more that I want to talk about real quick before we go on here. So again, this is pretty much it. Trufigcd. So I'm not running. I don't have it turned on at the moment, but pretty much when the actual when I'm gonna do the test and stuff. So right after I say this, I'm gonna actually turn it on. But it pretty much just shows you what CDs you're pressing, and it's pretty helpful. If you're recording your gameplay or if you're doing anything like that, it's really good to have for your viewers because they're able to actually see what you're doing. But you pretty much just go here, go to the party. You can kind of just skip all this extra stuff, put it at whatever size you want, and then you can kind of just show it and put it wherever. So again, not a big deal. It is really good if you're trying to record and stuff like that, because as you can see, it's gonna pop up right there. But that's pretty much my add-ons. Again, the gearing will be down below, so there's that. Now for the macros, I only have a few macros, barely any. Now if you have a mouse with keybinds and you're looking to get a bunch of that, personally, it's not even worth doing it. As long as you have targeting macros, that's all you really need. So, get your target macros down. I literally still use tab and I've made it work easily. But, yeah, target macros are one of the only things that I would say get if you have the room. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Um, Again, this is my burst macro. Again, all these will be down in the description as well because I know some people, just they're one there, so they'll be down there. So keep in mind, all of these will be down. This pretty much is just everything. It's my T, my badge, symbol, shadow blades, my fury racial, shadow dance. So pretty much everything in one. I also have a just regular shadow dance macro that casts symbols and shadow dance. Just really depends on if I'm waiting for blades to come up, and I'll wait the extra 5 to 10 seconds because it is a minute on your trinket. So you can use your trinket 2 times by the time you can use your blades 2 times because it's 1 minute. So you'll be able to pretty much use it in the opener, use it the second go, use it the third go with blades. That's pretty much how you want to do that. So that's pretty much it. Now I am trying to find it here real quick. Um, okay, strange. Okay, whatever. So it's literally just shadow dance and symbols. So if you're gonna do that, just literally go to my macro and just cancel out everything and just keep your regular shadow dance and your symbols. That's all it is. So the next one I have is symbols, or I mean not symbols, secret technique and Thistle Tea. I have them stacked because again, when you use Thistle Tea, you're getting a buff for a few seconds. So as you can see, you're getting a mastery buff. So you want to use that on your major abilities. You have so many of them that you're pretty much only using them on your goes anyway. You're not really going to be using them for no reason unless you're literally just you're trying to do your go and you're just energy starved from trying to farm your dance back. Um, that's pretty much that. So again, secret technique, Thistle Tea, that's all that's going in there. And that's pretty much all for the macros. Now I do have a sat macro. This is a very old sat macro that I've been using for a long time. There is other ways you can do the macro, so if you want to comment down below, you can get the easier version. This one will be linked down below as well. Again, sat macro is pretty much really good for stealthies because you're able to pretty much see them. Like for example, hunters, ferals, rogues, pretty much anything that can stealth, I use it on. Out of stealth, you don't really need, you just can use a regular sap. But in stealth, this sap's going to be 10 times better. You can't get a better reaction time than this type of sap macro because it's just instantly. So that's pretty much it for the add-ons, the macros, and the gearing. Now again, the gearing will be in the description, so make sure you check that out. But that's pretty much it, and also the build. So now we can go with the talents here. I'm running Night Stalker. I have seen a few variations of builds. Again, there is flag build, as you can see, it runs flag and that stuff. But I'm not running flag at the moment. It's pretty much a preference. Now, I don't believe flag's better, but I believe it can be. Again, I haven't really seen anybody running it, but I think both can work. So, both are good, but for now, I'm just gonna run this build. It's just easier to play. It's nonchalant. You don't have to like, you're just doing your normal go. It's pretty much Shadowlands Rogue all over again, just you're using secret technique. So that's pretty much that. Now the PvP talents. Now people don't understand the feint talent a lot of the times, and that's pretty much understandable. Now the feint talent pretty much means every stun, anything that's AoE. So as you can see, when you know you're taking 40% decreased damage while stunned, and what that basically means is when you know you're gonna get stunned, you're just popping off. Because again, it's lasting 6 seconds. You're getting a lot of damage reduction on top of the actual talent itself. So you're getting the talent, and then you're getting the PvP talent. So you're pretty much, depending on how low you are, you're pretty unkillable during a stun if you preemptively do it. Because it is like a wall. It's a mini wall during the stun. So it is a very good thing to, if you know you're going to get stunned or your healer gets CC'd, it's really good to just pop it off. I'm not saying that you won't die, but you definitely will be a lot tankier than what you think. So you're pretty much using this before stuns, right when your healer gets CC'd. I'll talk more about it while we're in the arena, but that's pretty much that. Next one, smoke bomb. Now, a lot of people don't understand how to smoke bomb either. Now, usually, um, you're not smoke bombing in the opener unless you're playing like 2v2 arena. In solo shuffle or 3v3, you're usually waiting for their trinkets and then you're gonna smoke bomb. So you're in the opener, you're doing your normal go, and then when the main target, whoever you're going, doesn't have trinket, that's when you use bomb. So that's how you're using that. You're not really using it in the opener unless you're in 2v2 arena. Otherwise, you're just using it on people's trinkets. Because that's how a lot of people die, especially high rated. They'll end up trinketing offensively or something, and they don't expect to get swapped to. And it is, as a rogue, you can kind of control a game depending on who you're playing with. So, if you see somebody with no trinket and you know they can't click anything in sun, for example, Pharaoh Druids, skin's not going to save them, rogues, pretty much stuff like that. So that's when you're kind of using smoke bomb. Now for disarm, obviously warriors, rogues, it's good because now the cloak talent doesn't exist. Otherwise, we'd be running the cloak talent versus ferals and assassination rogues. So we're just running disarm. For casters, you can run death from above, or you can run thieves bargain. Now, honestly, I think thieves bargain's probably better. You're gonna be in a dampener anyway, so you might as well. It's kind of a preference though. If you want more damage, this is gonna help a bit. But otherwise, thieves bargain, you're getting blades a lot faster, especially with the amount of time that it's gonna take to actually kill a caster because of their cooldowns and stuns. So it's like you might as well run thieves bargain during uh, a caster face off, but otherwise you're just running you know, dismantle or you're running death from above. So either three can work. You're rarely ever running control as king. It's not like assassination rogue or nothing. So that's pretty much that. So these are your normal three v or just talents in general. So this is going to be now if you're running blitz, you're running thieves bargain, and there possibly might be another build you run, but I assume this is kind of it. So if you're running blitz, thieves bargain 100% of the time. You're just getting blades faster. It's just a lot better. You're just getting stuff back faster. It's gonna be better. So now that we've gotten done with the talents, we've gotten done with the build, we got done with the macros and add-ons. We are now up to the actual rotation itself. Now usually you're gonna sap somebody, you're gonna cheap shot, use your burst macro, and I'm guessing we are running the thing where we get the death markers mark. So death markers mark you want to use very early in your go. So when you cheap shot, you're gonna cheap shot, use your burst macro, shadow strike to start your death markers, death stalkers mark. That way, by the time your go's done, it's gonna be off. I've done a lot of mistakes with it, with just forgetting all about it. Um, but it does break. Now, the one thing I don't like about it is it doesn't break the blinds. It doesn't break to any CZ. It'll literally break everything, which is kind of annoying. But pretty much cheap shot, use your burst macro, shadow strike, secret technique. After that, you're literally just going for restuns and shadow strike eviscerates. Like it's a very basic, as you can see, I'll do it right now. So cheap shot, burst, shadow strike, secret technique, shadow strike, cheap shot, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate. After that, you can kind of just shadow strike and a rupture. Now, there is one thing that you can do that a lot of people do is using a symbols on your secondary eviscerate. So again, you do the same rotation except you're going to use the symbols on an extra eviscerate. Really just depends. If you're trying to go for max damage, you can do it. But since as you can see, we already have it back. We have two back, so it's kind of like just a very short CD. So the only difference with the build here with our just now a rotation is you're adding symbols into the next eviscerate. So cheap shot, use your burst, shadow strike, secret technique, eviscerate or not eviscerate, shadow strike, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate, shadow strike, rupture. Because by the time your stuns are over, you're just throwing up a rupture because most likely he's not going to die. Now, if he's low, go for the eviscerate. But obviously, if it gets topped off or he uses big defenses, just go ahead and put up a rupture. Having a rupture on the main target you're going 99% of the game is gonna be your top damage by far. So again, we're gonna do this rotation again here in a second. But you're gonna run in, and when are you blinding the healer? That's a good a question. I know somebody was just asking that. Blinding the healer is usually off your sap. Now, sometimes it's a lot better to see in solo shuffle. You're trying to use your blind instantaneously because the games go by so fast that you're throwing it out instantly. Now, as rogue mage or rogue priest, it really depends. Now, usually you can use it in the opener as well, so off your sap. Now, if you can't get a sap, that's when you're blinding. And then what you're going to do is you're going to basically blind, sap if possible, But if you cannot sap, you're going to kidney, and then off that, you're pretty much going to gouge. So that's pretty much your CC rotation. So if you're facing a Resolute or somebody gets in combat, immediately blind them, then you're going to do your normal go. Off that, you're going to step kidney them, because by the time you have all them comp points, you're going to kidney them, and then off that, you can throw a gouge, or if your DPS has a CC, like a sheep or something, that's fine. So again, we're going to do the rotation again. So sheep, burst, shadow strike, secret technique, shadow strike, cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate, and after that we can throw another eviscerate and then a rupture. So pretty much you're just doing that at a fast pace. Not very hard. It is all about speed. So again, as you can see, I was like half a second behind, and I basically got the. You're pretty much focusing on going for quickness. That's pretty much it. Again, it's kind of hard to explain and go at the speed that you need to go to, but as long as you can get that little rotation off with the restuns in time, you'll be fine. So again, cheap shot, use your burst macro, shadow strike. Where shadow strike can immediately get up the death mark, because it does help a lot. So we're getting that up immediately. By the time we're done with our rotation, it's already broken, which means we're getting the extra damage. That's why we're doing that as fast as we can. I've seen a lot of people, shadow strike then immediately kidney shot. The problem with that is versus good people, they'll instantly parry. They know rogues use all their CDs in the opener. It's almost a fact that they do. There's very rarely a rogue that doesn't click their buttons in the opener, so it's just not going to be that great. Now, maybe mid-game it's not bad, but that's pretty much the cheap shot opener. Now, the kidney opener, so I'm not going to lie. Normally, I'm not kidney shotting the DPS. I'm using kidney shots on the healers. There are situations, like if you're going to bomb, where kidney shot's going to be more viable. So I'll show you that right here. It's kind of the same thing, but you're getting more duration of, damage than you are just restun, restun, restun. So you're going to go at full combos. Now make sure you got a rupture up immediately. And that makes sure, especially for mid-game, you're supposed to have this up the entire game. You're getting your combo points up. So you're basically going to kidney shot, use your burst macro, shadow strike to get the death markers up, and then just do your normal burst rotation, and I'm going to show you that right now. So we're going to go up, kidney, burst, shadow strike, secret technique, shadow strike, symbols, eviscerate, re-cheap shot, eviscerate, re-cheap shot, eviscerate, and then off that we can just, either use another shadow dance if we think he's going to die, or just do this to get our combo points back, and then just throw up a rupture. As you can see, we pretty much got our secondary dance by that, by just, keeping the depressor going. A lot of people just use double dance there. I usually do, depending on if I'm trying to do a swap or something. So, it really just depends on if you think, if they're full HP, just run away or just get ruptures up, and that's pretty much it. Normally, you're usually going to do goes on both targets, even if you know he's not going to die. Now, if it is solo shuffling, you're not really going healer unless, like, unless if you know the healer sucks, or if it's a Resolute or something. But otherwise, you're doing your normal go on this guy, and then you'll immediately swap to this guy. Do the same thing, but in a mini version. So you do go on that guy, and then you just go with a cheap shot on this guy, and you immediately just do your same burst. Obviously, you're not using anything massive, but you are using a little bit of damage to maybe pressure him, especially if you're playing with like a mage or something. So, I'll show you that in this version right here, so I can just show you the example of a swap, and then we're going to get in the actual arena, and I'm going to try to explain it mid-game. So I'll probably just play with a healer, which is kind of your only option. Rogue Mage kind of sucks. Now, Frost Mages are getting buffed, so they may be really good soon. I think Tuesday. But here again, I'll do my mini burst go. So the opener, this is how it's going to look. So cheap shot, use your burst, shadow strike, secret technique, shadow strike, re-cheap shot, symbols, eviscerate, cheap shot, eviscerate, immediate slap with the second dance. So cheap shot, eviscerate, shadow strike, eviscerate, re-cheap shot, eviscerate, re-cheap shot, eviscerate, and then off that we can kind of just, put a rupture up on them on both targets, and you're pretty much solid. And that's pretty much all you're doing. Now in 2v2 arena, you're usually going to rupture both of them, because you're usually doing that every go. In solo shuffle, you're not really going healers, unless it's like a Resolute or something with no cooldowns and he's just dead to air. For example, when you're playing like Affy Warlocks, or, something like a BM Hunter that's just killing everybody, or Windwalker, Arms Warrior, Fury Warrior, whatever. But that's pretty much the only example I can get, so let me know if you guys like that, or, if you guys want me to try to do a different rotation or something like that. But this is pretty much the generic beginner's rotation you're going to be able to get. So now we're going to get in the actual arena, and I will see you guys there. Make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe to keep the channel going. and I'll see you guys in the arena. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I did find a healer. Now, I logged off and I logged back on. If you're wondering why it's 6 o'clock, that's why. I've done a few games. We've won 2, and we lost 1. I didn't really post any of these, or I recorded them, but I didn't post them because they were just like, the first 2 were free in the opener wins, and then, the last one was just, it wasn't even worth doing it. So, we should be high enough at more now. We're like 1900 to actually get like an actual game going. I'm just going to get a few of them so you can kind of get the basic idea of what's going on and what you're doing. My priest is undergeared, so there's that, but at the same time, I'm actually pretty geared. I mean, I'm 674, I don't have my crafted pieces, but I am pretty geared. So, you know, I was like, okay, it's whatever. So, I'll have the geared and everything in the build down below. Now, there are 2 builds you can run. Um, there's flag and there's non-flag. I'm running non-flag because flag is good and bad. It really just depends on what you're facing. If you're facing something that's really glass cannon, you can run flag. I'm just not running it right now. I don't really like flag. It's only really fun when it does a ton of damage, and right now, while it's good, I don't really like it. So I'm not running it. I'm running Kalvish's build, if you're wondering. So we're just waiting to get on a game here, and you're pretty much just doing your rotation. Now, it doesn't really matter too much if you mess it up, as long as you're getting your restuns and your eviscerates off and just rupturing afterwards, you're normally pretty good. You don't really have to set up anything. I mean, you can go for the setups for, like, your eviscerate to get you can preemptively get finality. It doesn't really affect it that much. It is a good buff, obviously, but it's not worth doing all the extra work to actually set up everything. It's not much different of damage. It's just, you just do your your burst rotation, and you're pretty much good to go. Get a rupture up, that's it. That's all you're doing. It's just, that's it. So, we're getting the game here. We'll see what we're facing. Now, anytime you're facing a double DPS team, you're running Cheat Death, usually no matter what. Cheat Death's just way too good into, like, sub-rogues, anything that's really bursty. So here I'm not going to run Cheat Death. Now, Arms Warrior is very broken at the moment, so we're definitely running Disarm. You can argue and say you could run Cheat Death here, but honestly, you know, you're going to get a lot of, you're going to get a lot of faint, reduced damage. You get the PP talent and you have the other talent. You should be taking. I mean, you're still gonna take a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong. Warriors are very, very strong. Same thing with like Windwalker and BM Hunters, but and maybe even Holy DK is coming Tuesday. I think they got a massive buff as well. But we'll see how this goes. So we're gonna run in. Normally, as a sub rogue, you're usually going DPS unless you're with like a mage or something. Then you can kind of go the healer. But sub rogues do struggle killing healers unless it's like a Resitor with no HOTS up or something like that. The odds of you killing a healer is not very likely, but we'll see what happens. So here he Blade Storms. We're immediately going to put up a Rupture here. We're going to resap him here. We're going to stun him. So at this point, he can fear off that, so I got a resap for him here. We're going to cheap shot. And he might actually die here. Oh, he's close. Nope, he doesn't die. Okay. So he almost died. Almost. So we got pretty much every CD, but obviously that. We'll put a Rupture up on the healer as well, just to get extra pressure going. We're going to feint here. It's on all of his dam. We're going to immediately disarm him on his burst. His static field, we're killing that when we can. Can I see DR stuns me for no reason? Perfect. And it looks like he's just killing me to air, because that's how brain dead this spec is. So Kenny him, cheap shot. We're doing our Sacred Technique. Okay, nice. So we get Trinket. Perfect. So again, we're running. We're going to put a Rupture. This is kind of just how sub rogue is, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know what we're dying to, but we are in very big trouble here. So we're just kiting this guy. That's how you... Oh, nice, good root by this guy. We have kick. We're going to kick him here. I can't really do much at the moment, so we're just kind of kiting. We do have blind available here soon. So here we'll cheap shot. It looks like he DR stunned the warrior on accident, so that's not good for us. Normally that wouldn't happen, but yeah, I don't really expect too much out of this guy here, so it's alright. We can't sap, but we can gouge here, so we'll gouge here, why not? I don't know what we're dead to, but again, this is just how the game is. We're gonna put up another Rupture, and we're gonna feint right now, because he's gonna get ready to pop off. So here we pre-feinted his damage here. We're gonna step, we're gonna kick on the Hex. Again, this is... I know it looks boring, ladies and gentlemen, but this is how sub is now. Ooh, this is not good for us though. Still trying to kite. Waiting to get topped off here. We can kidney shot the warrior when he comes in. We can stun him for him. Immediately get in, restun. Eviscerate. Hopefully he gets that fear. That's unfortunate. So he gets that off. Unlucky for us. We'll pre-feign again on all of his dam. Not much I can do here. We can immediately evasion. So we get the evasion off. We can disarm him off that. I don't know why we're still dying, but okay. Feign again. Still trying to just run. We'll feign again, so on all of his dam. We can get ready to do a kidney shot go here. Killing the static. Kidney shot. Stun him. Hopefully we can get a fear off that. Fade damage. And nice. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we had a few bad stuns and stuff like that, we made it work. And that's how you have to win these games. So, they're going to look really bad and really weird, but I promise you, you can win. You're still viable. Now, normally, your healer's going to do actually a ton of damage. Like, if my healer had gear and he was doing his dam rotation, like, as you can see, he literally he was hitting 1.7 million, while I'm hitting, my highest was 1.9 eviscerate. So he's almost hitting like a full eviscerate on a target from a healer. So that's pretty much it. So they pretty much get they have ability that I think gives them 3 of them. So it's I believe it's in Shadowlands 2. It gives you 3 or 2 instant casts, and you pretty much just spam it on goes. Right now I'd say Holy Priest sub is by far the best healer DPS comp, and like for sub rogue obviously. It's just too good. If you have a good Holy Priest that can incap, stun, or incap fear, and then just do his damn rotation on your go, you're pretty much solid. Because there's nothing, you can't pre-trimmer it, there's nothing you can do. That's the thing about Holy Priest being so good, is because of incap fear. It's not like Disc Priest where they have to actually just run up to you and you can actually pre it. No, it's literally, okay, well, you can't do anything about it. It's kind of like, it's just like a kidney shot. There's nothing you can do, but, you know, that's just how it goes. But that's pretty much how that is. Again, you're just using feint. Normally, when your healer is CC, but you can honestly just use it off CD. Like, you're just feigning, and then off that feint, like, especially, now, obviously, don't use it at 100% unless you're, like, unless you're preing their bursts. Like, if they click all their CDs, and they, like, trinket disarm or something, go for it. But other than that, you're pretty much just feigning, consistently. Like, you're doing it a lot. And that's how you play defensively on Rogue. You know, when your healer CC'd, you're using your steps to get out. You're kiting. Don't just stand there and tank damage, because you will die. Had I not ran, I probably would have been two-shotted, because this guy hits very hard hits. Again, 2.8, 2.8, 2.5, a million, and that's actually not even that big. You can actually hit like 3 mils with that. So almost every ability that this guy has is hitting almost 3 times the damage on crits than what mine is hitting for. That's how strong that spec is at the moment. But you just gotta be very careful. Again, if I didn't feint all them times, I probably would have been one-shotted. That's the ability of a armed warrior, or just any good S tier spec at the moment. Elemental shamans, anything like that. And that's why we run the PvP talent and we run elusiveness. Now, we'll see what we get the next game. Maybe there might be an example of using cheat death, but we'll see here. BM Hunter. So BM Hunter, this arm is pretty much useless. Thieves Bargain is just way better overall, especially in 2v2 now that dampening starts at like 45%. You're pretty much just a dampener at this point. Everything in 2v2 arena is just a dampener. The better dampener is gonna win. Because dampening goes up so fast, which is actually, I thought it was a good thing at first, but then it kind of ruined everything. I don't really Q2s anymore, unless I'm doing like carries for gold, which I'll be doing soon, so I'll have a lot more content for Rogue. But other than that, I'm pretty much just not queuing 2s. There's really no point to queue them anymore, now that, I mean, I didn't join them in the first place, I only did carries on them, but until they had like a rank 1 title or some reason to actually push it, there's pretty much just, I don't really see why anybody even pushes it anymore, unless you're doing carries or something. So it's Rusted BM Hunter, so you're just swapping. This is one of the healers that you're just flip-flopping. You're gonna go Rusted, you're gonna go Hunter, you're going back and forth until it gets high enough dampening to where you can kill something. That's kinda how it is. So Hunter comes out, We'll immediately just open on him, get a rupture up early. We'll pre-feint in case he stuns me. Yep, nice. So we pre-feint stun. Druids. So we're not going to immediately cheap shot. We're going to get our comm points. See, he stuns him here, which is really bad for us. We're going to Kinney. This is where we bomb. And we get our damage off here. He gets a good thing here. We're going to immediately blind here. Blind. He might trinket this. We'll see. Yep, trinkets. Into a stun. Into a gouge. And we'll do another Shadow Dance here to get it going here. And he almost died. So we'll put a rupture up on the healer here. We'll feint again because we're dying. Again, we're just going to keep doing our eviscerates to get our comm points back. We're going to pre-feint again. So nice, we get it off. We're going to immediately go back to the hunter here and put a rupture up. We're going to evasion since it is all of his damage together. We're also going to get ready to feint here. We'll kick this guy, actually. I don't know who. Okay. We'll vanish right here. This is a full clone. There's no point in staying out here for a second. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kidney shot. We're going to wait till he comes out of bomb here. Actually, we'll just stun him in it because kind of have to at this point. So here we do our go. He trapped. We're going to immediately trinket it. Looks like he, for some reason my third cheap shot didn't work, yeah. So we're going to immediately put up a rupture again, rupturing him. One thing I hate about Sub Rogue is being, mana, or energy starved the entire game. So here we're going in. Hopefully we get topped off here. Again, our guy is in green gear, so it is kind of difficult for him to heal me. So I don't really blame him. So we're going to rupture this guy, then run back. We have a stun ready here in a second. We're going to get a kidney shot ready here, so we're going to stun this guy. Kinney shot him here. Kinney. Do our go. Hopefully he can fear off that on the hunter. Hope he doesn't get it. That's alright. Oh, dispel. Dispel. And nice. So he actually broke his own trap, I think. And we end up taking him out. So again, you're just flip-flopping. We're going to feint here because we're dying to air. We're going to run as well since we know our healer's struggling. Hopefully he can top us off here. I'm hoping he can top us off. I'd hope I don't die here. Okay, nice. I'm good. And there we go. We take him out. So yeah, that's a rough game. Another game which is very, very difficult to win. BM Hunters, Arms Warriors, Windwalkers are all just very much, they're a lot better at the moment. But situations like that where you can win. I think he broke his own trap, because if he didn't, I think I was dead. But thankfully it did break. Let's see. No, actually, I think he might have actually dispelled me. Yeah, he dispelled it. Okay, good job, good job. Because if that didn't break right there, he would have actually topped himself off, and the game would have been over. Now, normally, a wrestler would have went in a thing. So tree form gives what's called pretty much like a bubble. You can still do damage to them, but you can't CC them. So normally every like 30 or 45 seconds, they go in the tree form to where they can't be CC'd. It's really broken. I'm not sure why he didn't use it. Every other wrestler that I've ever faced uses it. But I guess he didn't think he needed it. And he got punished for it. But as you can see, I think we hit a pretty big eviscerate on him here. So 1.8. So we'll go into the next game here and we'll see how that goes. Again, you're just using feint as really off CD. Once you start taking damage, you're using it. As you can see, I preemptively used it on the stun. Normally, people come out of stealth with a stun, so it's kind of expected. Especially druids, the moment you open, they're immediately stunning you, so you kind of can know when they're going to do that. And we'll see what we get here. H-Fouls are our nemesis. We don't want H-Fouls. H-Fouls are very strong against sub-rogues, mainly because of Bop, Bubble, Sack, Land Hands, Trinket. They're not fun. They're very not fun. So it's a sub-rogue, so in this situation, we're easily running Cheat Death. We're going to run Disown for the sub. This is going to be actually pretty difficult for us. But the main target's sub. You can go H-Foul on Sack as well, but we'll see what happens. I'm running Cheat Death mainly because it is a sub-rogue, and you kind of can't underestimate them, especially one with like best in slot gear. Now, if my healer had gear and his healing actually was like, he actually did pretty good healing last game. I think I don't know what this guy was doing, but I'm surprised. Well, then again, I guess Rest of Druid is kind of trash, to be honest. Other than the immunity and that, so, and cycloning, obviously. So it's gonna be, he's actually running the goggles. I have him on H-Bow. So you know he should be pretty solid. We'll see though. So we're gonna use a sap macro here. We don't want to accidentally sap the H-Bow. There's sometimes I've done that, but you kind of just don't use it. You kind of just stay max range and wait. We may just open and just give them the opener, honestly, because I don't know. Okay, so here we can sap, immediately sap. We'll cheap shot. Oh, that's very bad stun on his part. So now he's gonna get the opener on us. We're gonna immediately go the H-File since he pre-fainted. Nice, so we get disarm. That's alright. I pre-feint as well. Yep, pre-feint. I'll rupture him here. Okay, I pre-feinted the stun, even if it's only for a second. We'll instantly vanish here. We're gonna immediately blind. Kidney shot. Bomb. Nice, we get trinket there. We're gonna sap here if we can. Sap. He gouges us. Should break. Maybe not. Okay. We're gonna immediately do this. We're gonna resap him here. Nope, for some reason it didn't work. We're gonna immediately go H-Pal on the sack because he sacked him here. So we should take a good amount of damage right here. So we're gonna finish our... Nice, we get bubble right there. We're gonna immediately gouge even if it's for a second. It gives our time enough. Okay, nice. So we gouge him. We should be good. I'm not sure. This guy's actually doing a lot of this. He has the difference between full gear and enchants. I can already tell. This guy's actually doing unhealable damage. Can't unfortunately kick that, so that's alright. We can do a go here. Nice incap. Unfortunately, he did disarm me, so I'll disarm him as well. Nice, good fear. We get a Kenny here. Looks like he trinkets. It's fine. We'll gouge here. He's going to stun us off this, so we can't prevent. We'll prevent right now, because we know he's going to get ready to stun in about 2 seconds. We'll see. Nice, our guy went up there. We're going to pre-feint again. He smoke bombs. Okay, that was the worst smoke bomb I've ever seen. Okay. The fact that... Okay, now this is bad for us. Okay, we'll cloak here. We'll kick as well. Kick. Nice. We gotta get our addons back before we can kind of do anything. So that's important. Oh, that's unlucky for us. We can kidney shot this guy here. I want to try to sap him here. Oh, dude, these... Yeah, I really don't like these stuns. I wish he was running incap, but that's alright. I don't really blame him. I'll disarm him here on a sprint so he can't do anything. I'm gonna put a rupture up on the healer here. I'm gonna pre-feint because he's gonna stun the healer right about now. Nope, he actually doesn't even bother. I'll pre-feint again. Okay, nice. Pre-feinted it. He's gonna hodge the healer. We'll pre-feint again. We'll gouge him here in a second. Gouging. Gotta get our addons back. One problem with Rogue. We'll stun this guy. Full kidney shot. Going on the healer here. He should bop. Okay, we should dispel or purge it, but we don't know. Yeah, nice, he gets it. Pre-feint, because he's probably going to stun me off him the peel here in a second. Yep, here it comes in a minute. Yep, I'll pre-bomb so he can't step to me. Oh, that's really bad. I'll blind him DR, and then I'll gouge him here. Gouging. Oh, I hope it's enough to save you, bud. And I'll disarm. Oh, I'm trying to save you, buddy. I'll pre-feint because he's going to stun me here. Nice, he disarms there. And I'll try to get this one. And I'll evasion off this as well. Kidney shot, nice. Hopefully my guy can finish him off. Maybe not. That's unlucky. We'll put a rupture up on him again. We're going to pre-feint again. Put a rupture up on the rogue as well, just to get some pressure going here. We're going to be very much in trouble here. I don't want to go behind the pillar because it's up in the air. I'll pre-feint again. Why not? I'll pre-file as well. Pre-file right now. Yeah, this is where they might have a lot of damage. He doesn't have blades until 30, but we are still in trouble. Okay, he blinds me. I don't like that fear. Because I can't go on the rogue. Now I can disarm this guy, though. Disarm. Oh, can he shot? I can gouge off this if you can keep yourself up, bud. Gouge. Can he shot? I'll cloak here as well. He gouges me from behind. Okay, that's awkward. Okay, we're doing big damn here. Restun. And he should be dead. Now refrain here. He's gonna try to kill us here. Our guy definitely needs to be careful. Nice, should be dead. Complete and utter outplay of the best old-fashioned. That is how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter who it is. The X comes through and absolutely dominates the entire arena. No chance. And that's how we do it right there. So we're going to try to get one more game in, ladies and gentlemen, and then that'll be it. I don't know how long the video is going to be, but I know you guys like enjoying seeing me play and actually talking instead of me just talking over it. So we'll get another game in here. So at first he's running a different build. So I've seen a lot of people running this build. It looks pretty good. It looks like overall you're getting a lot of damage, but it looks like you're getting less actual burst possibly. Because I'm guaranteed he has more gear than I do, and I'm actually hitting almost as hard as he is. And I was going on a plate when he was going on a green gear priest. So I think the build that I am right now is giving me more burst, but he's getting more consistency. You guys have to let me know which one's better, or what you guys think. Maybe in 2v2 mine's better, but in like solo shuffle his might be better. Regardless, we take the dub. and we'll go to the next game here. So cheat death does come in handy. There are situations like versus assassination or outlaw where I will not run cheat death, but it's mainly the smoke bombs that are the issue. Smoke bombs are very brutal. As you can see, my preemptively smoke bomb was good and bad, and the main reason it was good is because I think he was trying to go me, but I think he realized my guy was heavily undergeared, because you saw how much damage he took, and they actually would have won that had I not peeled like that. But um, I don't know why he smoke bombed. I think he smoke bombed to pretty much try to not let the priest do damage to him or something. I've never seen a smoke bomb like that because I was right on top of him or out of the bomb already, but it's whatever. Sometimes you just throw out some stuff. I've done it. Everyone's done it. We actually did the same thing. Mine was just a better one. Mine was a preemptively good one. But that's how you peel. That's how you're pretty much peeling. And now that gouge doesn't break automatically on bleeds, you do get a few seconds now of CC. So it does end up helping. As you can see, you gotta peel your healers. A lot of people don't know that. You gotta peel, especially in 2v2 arena. You have to peel. Otherwise your guy's just gonna die 100% of the time. Every time that your guy's stunned, you should be doing something to help. Disarm, gouging, stunning if necessary, blinding, even DR. Like anything to help, because there are situations like I literally DR blind him and we actually survived and we won the game. I have really bad sinuses at the moment, so I think it's just the weather going from hot to cold to cold to hot. It's the most confusing thing of all time, but oh well. Feral Druid. So Feral Druid, we're not running Disarm, we're not running Cheat Death, because overall we're gonna get a lot better with elusiveness. At this situation, I'm running Thieves Bargain, so we're gonna get blades a lot quicker. We're gonna get vanish quicker. Overall, it's just a dampener. Normally, I think in dampening we should win this. Pharaohs do lack defensives. While survival is good, once it gets to higher in damp, they kind of just are gonna flop. They do have a disc priest though, and I will say I think personally disc priest is still better in 2v2 arena. Just overall, you're getting way more defensive cooldowns. But I think Holy Priest does more healing and you're getting way more damage. But I guess we'll find out here in a second. So win or lose, we're going to post this, get it out there, and that'll be the video. So I don't have to make it super long and you guys can actually see a lost gameplay because we'll see how this goes. So we'll see if he opens instantly. If he doesn't, we'll probably just open just to start it off. We'll see here. So we're going to sap around real quick, see if he comes out. So he's in combat, which means his Pharaoh might end up opening now that the healer is in combat. That's something I would do, depending on the situation. I'm going to wait a second just to look around. Otherwise, I'm just going to get my comm points and not waste my time in this game. Well, whatever, I'll give him the opener. We'll just kick him immediately. We're going to not do it. We're going to pre-feint. So pre-feint, again, every druid's going to stun instantly. So he stuns him here, not something we like to see. See, again, stunning when you have a sub-rogue is probably the worst thing you can do. So we're going to go the healer here. Unfortunately, we can't really peel for our guy, so we're going to just do damage on this guy and hope my guy's okay. We're going to immediately cloak. I don't know what we're dead to, but okay. We're going to rupture the healer here. We'll kick him here. We're going to rupture this guy. Nice. He fears the air. Oh. I think I'm good, right? We're going to immediately blind this guy. Blinding. We'll stun him here. Stunning. Sapping. Got the sap. He DR fears on top of it. That's alright. We'll trigger this. Oh, it does break my sap. That's unlucky. We'll kick him here. Got it. He's going to try to cyclone my healer or fear him, and then he's going to... Okay, so we pre-feint here again on all of his dam. We're not going to push in because we are dying here. We're going to gouge him if he tries to clone here. So we gouge him. Unfortunately, actually, we don't even have a gouge. We'll actually bomb to save myself, and we'll kill him in the bomb, so we actually get usefulness out of it. Hopefully my guy can in-cap fear the healer. This will be the best time. Or if he can just... Nice. That's how we do it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I told you that Holy Priest damage comes in hot. It does. It really does. And that's it. So it might have looked weird at first. It looked like they were doing a lot more damn, but that's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know what you guys think about this video. We did end up getting all the wins we wanted. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be doing Outlaw and Assassination Rogue next. So stay tuned for the other videos coming. And it's been X. Peace, peace.